Mr. Biffo and the general election. Once upon a time there was a boy called Mr. Biffo who was a very good boy indeed, except when he went poo in the goldfish bowl. One day Mr. Biffo was playing games on his Atari ST, which was difficult as poo kept oozing out of the MIDI ports and he had to keep cleaning it up, which would never have happened with an Amiga. So, anyway, he was a bit bored of the poo. So he stopped doing that and turned on the television instead and was magically transported to the land of politics, where he met all the politicians, but instead of the real names they had disease names. So there was tuberculosis May and Jeremy Corbyn and tinnitus Farron and candidiasis Lucas and Nicolaides Barreza syndrome Sturgeon and whatever that Welsh SNP one is called, and appalling internal injuries Nuttall. They were all standing around having a debate around the election and who should be in charge of the country, and Mr. Biffo said, "I think whoever does the biggest poo should be in charge of the country." So they all started to try and do the biggest poo, and tuberculosis May's poo was small and dry like a shriveled old fig, and Jeremy Corbyn's poo was full-bodied and fruity like the jam he exclusively survives on, and tinnitus Farron's poo was all very well and good, but nobody took it seriously, and candidiasis Lucas did a green poo, which everyone thought was a very impressive party trick but wasn't a good indicator of a future prime minister, and the Welsh SNP lady did a poo and it was full of leeks and had a daffodil growing on it, and then Nicolaides Barreza syndrome Sturgeon did one and it came out already deep-fried like a Mars bar, and then appalling internal injuries Nuttall did one, and you might think from his name it would be nutty, but it was actually just racist. Mr. Biffo examined the poo closely and then he said, "These poos are all okay I guess, but I prefer my own poo." And he did his own poo and it was so good and big and smelly that everyone gathered around and clapped. And then they all had a taste of each other's poo, to be polite, with little spoons and polystyrene pots, but they all liked their own best. But because Mr. Biffo was the voter, his poo was voted the best, and then Mr. Biffo woke up. It had all been a dream, except it pooed the bed again, and contracted all of the diseases it dreamt about the party leaders being called. The end.